What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv, and tonight I'm gonna do my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow my social down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now AEW Dynamite was a good show going right into AEW Revolution this Sunday. So that's all I gotta say from here. It says All Elite Wrestling delivered a star-studded episode of AEW Dynamite on February 28th. Chris Jericho, Brian Danielson, and Orange Cassidy, among other stars, competed. Plus, Sting made his final appearance ahead of his retirement match, and Will Ospreay made his first appearance as a contracted member of the roster. Alright, so we get the in-ring segment, Hangman Adam Page. This was a good segment. Page comes to the ring and he is on a crutch. He knows that it possibly does not seem promising. Hangman Page reflects on the beginning of AEW and says it was an opportunity for him. He looks back on winning the world title in 2021. He says it hurts to have that opportunity in front of him and have this. Hangman says he had the wrong two competitors when he said the world title match should be a singles bout. He tells the fans that AEW Revolution, he will not be able to compete. Swerve Strickland interrupts and brings up his feud with Hangman Page. Swerve admits that he did not expect this to happen. He says he respects what Page has accomplished in AEW. Swerve Strickland says you cannot stop Destiny, and his destiny is to win the world title. AEW World Champion Samoa Joe comes out and says, "This the real man around here." Samoa Joe says Page and Strickland are hungry, but that's because he is starving them. Alright. Samoa Joe vows to whoop both of their you know what at AEW Revolution. Strickland highlights his road to this point. He vows to win the gold, but Hangman Page attacks him with a crutch. Clearly, Hangman is not injured after all. He says that Strickland will never win the title. Officials check on Swerve as Page walks to the back. This was a good segment. Alright, the Young Bucks arrive and they speak with Renee Paquette. They ask about their meeting with Ric Flair, and Nicholas says it went great. Matthew says they want to thank Sting through the bats in their hands and indicate otherwise. Alright, so we get FTR and Eddie Kingston team up on AEW Dynamite tonight. So we get the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Brian Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli versus FTR, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, and Eddie Kingston. This was a good 8-man tag team match. Danielson and Kingston start the bout. Danielson tags out and Castagnoli squares off with Kingston. Harwood and Danielson tag in and fill each other out. Wheeler takes the fight to Moxley. They trade headbutts. The two teams have to pull them apart, and they all brawl. The fight spills out of the ring. Danielson and Castagnoli gang up on Wheeler. The Blackpool Combat Club maintains the advantage. They isolate Cash, but he rallies and attacks Harwood. Harwood rallies and takes the fight to Blackpool Combat Club. Harwood gets a few two counts on pin attempts. Castagnoli drops Dax while Danielson distracts the referee. The two teams gang again brawl at ringside. Danielson kicks Kingston. Back in the ring, Harwood and Castagnoli trade blows. Moxley grounds Harwood, and the Blackpool Combat Club keeps him isolated. Harwood breaks free and attacks Kingston, who takes the fight to Danielson. They trade chops. Kingston dishes out a suplex and takes a clothesline from John Moxley. He and Moxley fire away at each other. Castagnoli and Danielson double team Kingston. Moxley spikes Kingston with a pile driver. The match breaks down in chaos, and the teams keep fighting. Finishing moves are flying, and Danielson hits the running knee on Kingston. He locks in a triangle choke, and Kingston is out. The winner of the match, Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Brian Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli. This was a good 8-man tag team match. After the bell, Brian Danielson vows to choke Kingston out. A video package highlight Chris Jericho passed a seed mill In an interview, Chris Jericho looks back on his time working there. He highlights Atlantis as a mentor and friend and says he wanted to have a match with Atlantis Jr. to repay the favor. Jericho says he will do just that and give him a lesson tonight. So we get Will Ospreay arrives. It's so good. It was good to see Will Ospreay in AEW tonight. In-ring segment, Will Ospreay. This was a good segment too. Tony Schiavone introduced Will Ospreay, who is officially joining the company. Will Ospreay confirms that his obligations in New Japan Pro Wrestling are done. He makes fun of his own outfit, and says he's here to full time work. Will Ospreay brings up his past win in AEW, including his victories over Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. He says he is ready to pick up where he left off. Don Callis, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Konosuke Takeshita comes to the ring. Don Callis and Hobbs hugged Will Ospreay, but Takeshita did not. Don Callis highlights the talent the group contains. He knows that he and Will Ospreay achieved his highlights together. Don Callis says Will Ospreay will have the match of the decade against Konosuke Takeshita. He says sometimes teammates go hard against each other in practice in order to win titles. Don Callis says the real winner between Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita will be the Don Callis family. Will Ospreay extends a handshake and Konosuke Takeshita accepts it. Konosuke Takeshita doesn't let go, and Will Ospreay gets in his face. He talks some trash, and the Don Callis family leaves. Okay, that was a good segment. Backstage, Eddie Kingston is asked about his match against Brian Danielson. The Young Bucks interrupt, and Nicholas says he has a bone to pick with Eddie Kingston. He threatens him. He threatens to fine him. Matthews tells him to work on the presentation and tease employment plummeting dress code. All right, let's move on. So we get the AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy accompanied by Christian Cage, Mother Wayne, and I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot. Luchasaurus. There we go. And this match right here, this was a I might as well say this was a decent match. Nick Wayne and Cassidy filled each other out early on. They evenly matched early on. Nick Wayne hits a hurricanrana. He sends Cassidy to the outside. Nick Wayne dives onto Orange Cassidy with a moonsault. Back in the ring, Orange Cassidy rolls to the outside, and Nick Wayne dives onto him again. Christian Cage Christian Cage trips up Orange Cassidy and distracts him. Nick Wayne kicks Orange Cassidy to the outside as they party party Archie gets ejected from ringside. Nick Wayne maintains the advantage. Orange Cassidy rallies with a flurry of offense. He plants Nick Wayne with a DDT. Nick Wayne gets a 2 count with a fisherman suplex. Orange Cassidy takes control with a series of stomps. Nick Wayne counters the orange punch, but Orange Cassidy hits the beach break for a 2 count. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett come out and distracts Orange Cassidy. Ricky Ramone and Trent Beretta fight them off. Daniel Garcia distracts Nick Wayne, and Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch for the win. The winner is still your AEW International Champion, Orange Cassidy. This was a decent match. Alright. Roger Strong attacks Orange Cassidy after the bell, and best friends make the save. Backstage, Bang Bang Scissors Gang is asked about glaring, glaring as a group. Austin Gunn says he has an idea to team up with the Acclaim. Jay White likes the idea and says everyone loves the Bang Bang Sister Gang. Okay, so we get Chris Statlander accompanied by Stokely Hathaway and Willow Nightingale versus Sky Blue accompanied by Julia Hart. And this was a solid match. Chris Statlander overpowers Sky Blue early on. Sky Blue briefly takes control and sends Chris Statlander to the outside. Chris Statlander presses her over her heads and dumps her into the crowd. Back in the ring, Sky Blue gains the upper hand and controls the action. Chris Statlander rallies and gets a 2 count with a power slam. Chris Statlander and Sky Blue trade blows. The former TBS champion suplexes Sky Blue onto the apron. Will Gallo, Willow gets in Julius Hart's face at ringside. Sky Blue hits a Canadian destroyer and gets a 2 count. Will Hathaway, what's his name? Stokely Hathaway offers Chris Statlander some chains, and she dismissed him. He inadvertently distracts the referee, and Julie Hart hits Chris Statlander with the title. Sky Blue pins Chris Statlander with the cold blue. The winner of the match, Sky Blue. This was a solid match. Okay, the Young Bucks are backstage and they found Sting's locker room. They enter the room and find a bunch of baseball bats hanging upside down. Lionheart, Chris Jericho versus Atlantis Jr. This was a really good match. Okay, Chris Jericho and Atlantis Jr. trade blows. Atlantis Jr. hits a monkey flip. Chris Jericho counters another and goes for the walls, but Atlantis Jr. reaches the ropes. He rips at Atlantis Jr.'s mask. Atlantis Jr. chokes Chris Jericho with a towel while the referee isn't looking. Atlantis Jr. dives onto Jericho. He catapults Chris Jericho into the ring post. Chris Jericho counters a powerbomb and sends Atlantis Jr. crashing into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Chris Jericho controls the action. Atlantis Jr. rallies and hits an arm drag off the second rope and gets a 2 count. He dumps Chris Jericho with a wheelbarrow German suplex. Chris Jericho grabs Atlantis Jr. by the head and slams him off the top rope. Atlantis Jr. hits a power slam. He dives onto Chris Jericho at ringside. Chris Jericho fires up with a Hurricanrana. He locks in the rolls of Jericho and Atlantis Jr. throws in a towel. The winner of the match, Chris Jericho. This was a good match. Chris Jericho and Atlantis Sir checks on Atlantis Jr. and they celebrate together. All right, so we get the final segment, Sting's final AEW Dynamite appearance before his last match. Okay, the Young Bucks come out and confront some fans wearing Sting's mask. One of them unmasked and is Darby Allin. He takes the fight to the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks gain the upper hand and attack Darby Allin with bats. They hit the EVP trigger. Ric Flair comes out and he grabs a bat, but he attacks the Young Bucks instead. Nicholas hits Ric Flair below the belt. They gang up on Ric Flair and Sting music plays. The way that Sting came out of the Raptors, he did the exact same thing just like WCW did. When Sting came from the Raptors. I love that by Sting. They gang up on Ric Flair and Sting music plays. The Young Bucks walk up the ramp. Sting comes down from the Raptors. He hits the Young Bucks with a bat, and Darby Allin hits the coffin drop. And Sting drops Nicholas Jackson with a Scorpion Death drop. Sting, Darby Allin, and Ric Flair stands tall, and AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Um, like I stated earlier, AEW Dynamite was a good show before going right into AEW Revolution. So if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, please watch the video before you like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow my socials down below in the description, and I will stream live on YouTube for some Fortnite tomorrow. And that's all I got to say from here. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. KFG crew, KFG club, too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. And I will see you guys this Sunday for my AEW Revolution review and highlights. Have a good night, guys. And that's all I got to say. Too sweet, everybody.